Hi, I'm Kamaksha Musnaru. I'm open source software evangelist and also a full stack web developer. In my previous video, I explained how to understand the very basics of functions. JavaScript is actually a functional programming language. It has got almost all kinds of strategies and methodologies associated with developing functions. In this video cast, I'm going to talk about a particular concept called scoping, variable scoping. So what is a local variable? There are many things associated with this. Actually, in programming languages, we start talking about scoping right from the workspace, and then we go to the namespace, and from there we try to distinguish different types of data, just like whether it is global or local, something like that. So without adding much confusion to my talk, because I always confuse people, because I confuse and then I make others to confuse. In this example, I'm just going to talk about, I'm going to create a couple of global variables, and then I will create a method which is also global, and then I'll try to create a few variables in a global variable in a global function inside of it, and then we'll try to process those. Let's see what's going to happen. Suppose if I declare A 1, B 2, and C 3. So these are going to be, so A, B, C, right, it's not going to A, and then you got B, C, something like that. So all these variables, these are all global variables. Now I'm going to create a function. Okay, I'll name it as, I think I already have the add function, and add, no, let me, function add, now I call x comma y, okay, and then I think, I don't know, if I have return x plus y, and then from here I can just close this. Now sum is equal to add, now sum of a comma b, let's see, it is 3, obviously 1 plus 2 is 3, right? So suppose if I create a function, this time I create a function add with a different context. Okay, what I'm going to do is, I call it as, maybe I can add a comma b, something, x comma y. I'll make an empty function, so I don't give any parameters here. Inside it, I create A, and this is going to be 12, and B is going to be 13. Let's see what's going to happen. And now I'm going to create an anonymous function here, function, and then sum. This is just going to make get info. I'll call it as get info, and then here return. Yeah, return. Yeah, can I call return? I think the information of A and B. No, just this is just a namesake. You don't need to worry what I'm trying to. And then the addition of A and B. Let me addition of A and B is, and then I can just make an expression here, A plus B. So let's see what so is this going to be 12? Is this A going to be 12 or 1? That is what is the question under the lens. Okay, now let me press this, and now sum is equal to add. This is an empty function, right? Sum. Okay, add. Okay, no, actually I did a mistake, so I have to okay, I'm not able to, so let me close this. Okay, and then return, I think get info. I have to say return get info. Then it is possible for us to, okay, let's see. Okay, add. Yeah, the problem is actually I forgot the parenthesis here. So I will have, let me go back to. So I forgot the parenthesis here in the code. Actually, see, it is not get info. Get info, open parenthesis and close parenthesis. We have to, so then add the addition of the A and B is 25. Now this 25 is actually sum of the 12 and 13, not global. This time, let me, this is not a good example actually. Where is that? Okay, let me create some data in the global. A equal to 1 equals 1, B equals 2, and then C equals a name. Okay, so this can be a kind of example. A now 1, B now we have C is okay. Yeah. So now function get info. Okay, now this can be a good example. So now inside we got the function at, so that is going to be x comma y, and then return return C, okay, has, okay, plus A comma B, A plus B. Okay, that can be a good example. Now close this, return, add, I think I should not give here because they are global, right? So that's wrong. So get info, when I press MK has 3 because this 3 is coming from so actually the problem is I think it's better to let me give some space. It's not a big thing, but C has A plus B, some money or whatever it is, whatever. So now get info. Okay. Okay, again did the same mistake as I have done last time. Return, add, and then close the function. Now get info. Okay, now MK has 3. So this 3 is coming from the global variables. Now the same function, okay, let me define in a different way. Okay, then how should I go for okay. Let A is 100 and B is 200. Now here function, this is actually called this example, it explains both the scoping as well as nested functions. So I'm also unknowingly explaining a function inside a function, which is called nested function. Okay, a function add, and then you got, it is also empty function, and now return just A plus B, that's it. A plus B. Return C has, yeah, I can even do A plus B, that is okay. So too much is not good. C has, okay, and then A plus B. Okay, that's fine. Now close the inner function and return add, and then close the outer function. Now get info, that is just MK has 300. This time the variables are used inside. So this is what is called the scoping. So this function get info first search for the assets inside the block, and then walk beyond the function and search for the, if you are here when I'm writing get info, actually this A plus B is coming from the global namespace. Okay, that is 3 actually. This is 3. And here, this is coming from the local namespace. This function has got its own namespace, and it has a few variables inside its data table, and then these variables are used for processing. So this is actually an example for both scoping as well as I think let me get rid of this Google left side. I think window dot location is equal to blank about blank. So I don't know, without knowingly I've been, so now it is very clean. Okay, fine. Now with the same tempo, let me explain you it is, and let me explain you this function, nested function concept with a different example. Suppose imagine that you got a function and you want to use function as an argument. Okay, not as an argument. It's not a nested function actually. So imagine that you got an outer function, an inside function, something like that. Like sometimes it is also possible that we want few functions which process data inside a function, and inside the function has arguments. Actually, the example which I have shown you just a couple of minutes before, that was an empty function. It did not have any variables. What if we have variables? Okay, that is what is the question. Now function, let me have the outside func. Okay. Suppose if I define the outer function with outer func with a variable, and then and inner, maybe I can so function inner inside from y, and then return x plus y. Now suppose if I close this too, do I need to return inside? Yeah, I did the same. I did the same mistake. Okay, return inside font inside and then close this. Now suppose if now I can just define outside font. Let's say I want to give some 10, and then okay, it's not I think I need to assign this outside function is equal to outside func 10. Okay, oh, it's not coming. So inside is a variable, outside is variable, and we are just going to return inside. Is it because okay, let's say of, let's say some other, let's say 12, yeah, 20, 10 plus 10, 20, something like that. Now if I say 12 and 10 plus 12, 22, something like that. Suppose if I go for outside function, it is also possible to use two different, if I say let's say 10 here, and the value 10 and 10 here, that is just going to be 20, because 10 plus 10 is going to be 20. It is not possible for us to avoid one of the, because both of the functions, outside function and inside function, they need arguments, otherwise there will be NaN produced. In case if that is the case, like where one of the arguments are going to miss, so then we need to mention that explicitly inside the function. Okay, like maybe we can say NaN or whatever it is, like there are different. So this is actually the scoping and as well as the function inside nested functions. Okay, and the third one which I would like to talk is a particular concept, how to use the function as an argument. Okay, so So how I'm going to explain, I will try to create a function, and here a function is going to be I simply call it as function as argument, okay, and function and some argument, okay. Now here, and this function, this arguments is so let me not call it as argument, I call it as a list. It's not even list, li, okay. So this li is nothing but let us assume that this is actually the series of elements, and these elements will be processed with this function. So assume that this li is actually an array of letters or something, whatever it is, numbers. So let us assume that this li has the numbers, and this function is going to process. This is a single value processing function. So how am I going to let results is equal to an empty array, and then for where I equals 0, okay, I is not equal to, actually this is not the way we try to do, li length, 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 okay, and then I plus plus. So I'm just creating a loop, and now results I is equal to f of, okay, li I. So what we are doing is this function is processing each of these elements for every time I change the value. Now this is for loop, and return results, okay, hey, and then close the body. Now what happens, let me define function f. This f is nothing but a single value function I call x, and return, okay, x to the power of x, something like that, okay. Hey, what is this plus? Okay, now what happens, function with args f, come on, let me use an array, okay, and let me see what's going to happen. Yeah, so let li is equal to an array, okay. Now let me use this, okay, there's a problem. Okay, I think I didn't change this, right? FLI. Where's the problem? Unchanged the reference error x is not defined. Okay. Okay, capital X. I think I did a mistake here, boss. As usual. What nonsense is this? It is X. So that is why there is a mistake. Okay, now there is a result. These are all actually the squares. So I explained 3 different concepts in this tutorial. The first one is the scoping, so how to handle the variables as by the scope, and the second one is the nested functions, the function inside the function, and then the third one I explained how to use functions as arguments. Okay, so this is for this video. So please subscribe to my video channel, press like button, and stay tuned for the new content. Thanks once again.